Hello, and welcome to this NIM tutorial on Self-Service Password Reset Part 1. Now, let's begin. The first step in providing password reset capabilities inside NIM is to enable the password reset table in NIM's internal system. Select the internal system from the Systems list. Under the Configuration tab, check the box next to Password Reset under the Available Tables list. Click Save, then click Collect. Expand the internal system in the Systems list and select the Password Reset table. Under the Columns tab, verify that the ID column is marked as both the key and the display name. Click Save. The next step is to create an inter-system relationship between your source system and the internal password reset table. Let's begin. Navigate to Processing Relations. Within the A side, select the following options: Internal, Password Reset, and External ID. Within the B side, select your source system, followed by the table that holds user information, and then the column that holds each user's unique identifier. Click Add, then click Save. 4 filters are required for a successful setup of the password reset system. Let's set them up. Go to Processing Filters. Our first filter will insert records into the password reset table by using data from the source system. This filter should start at the source system and have any relation to the target systems in which passwords will be reset. In addition, it should have a no relation to the internal password reset table so that it only returns users who do not yet have records in that table. Our next filter is the Update filter. This filter will return all users who currently have a record in the internal password reset table and will be used to keep that record up to date with information from the source system. This filter should start at the source system and have any relation to both the target systems in which passwords will be reset and the internal password reset table. Our next filter is the Delete filter. This filter will remove records from the internal password reset table that do not match up with records from the source system. This prevents, for example, ex-employees from being able to reset their account passwords. This filter should start at the internal password reset table and have a no relation to the source system. Our next filter is the Profile Lookup filter, which can be a child of the Update filter. This parameterized filter will be used by the Password Reset app to look up and validate a single user based on their unique identifier. This filter will also return information about the user's account in the target systems, which will be used to reset their password. You will need to create a parameter called External ID. Underneath the internal password reset table, it should have an expression that compares that parameter to the value of the external ID column of that table. With those filters in place, we can configure the password reset profile. The next step is to configure a password reset profile. A password reset profile is a collection of settings that bring together various pieces of the password reset process. It also contains various settings that can be configured to customize the password reset experience for your end users. Let's get started. Navigate to Configuration, Password Reset. Click Add, then provide a profile name and click Save. You are now taken to the Configuration tab of the new Password Reset profile. In the Password Reset app drop-down, select the Password Reset app. In the Account Filter drop-down, select the Profile Lookup filter that you created in Step 3. For the Password Reset app error form and error description ID, select Message. Next to Password Reset profile forms, click the Add button 6 times. Set the form name, form function, form variable, execute, and notifications columns to the values shown on screen. Click Save. Then click on the Action Variables tab. This is where you will map data from the profile lookup filter onto variables that will be used later on in the password reset process. Find the unique identifier for the user account in your target system. In Active Directory, this is object good. In Google Workspace, this is ID. Click on the icon next to the unique identifier to have NIM auto-generate a variable name for that field. Click Save. Then click on the Password Reset Actions tab. This is where you will define the actions that NIM takes within target systems when an end user submits a new password. Most often, this will simply be specifying the user's new password, but you are free to launch other actions as you see fit. Click the Add button to add an action, then select the new action. In the System dropdown, select the desired target system. In the Function dropdown, select User Update or the target system's equivalent. Under the Input tab, your target system's unique identifier will be listed in bold. Change its value source to variable. Then, select the appropriate variable in the Constant Value Variable dropdown as shown here. This will instruct NIM to target the user account associated with the end user who is submitting the request. Also under the Input tab, find the target system's password field. Change its value source to variable and select the vPassword variable in the Constant Value or Variable dropdown. Now click Save. With the password reset profile in place, we can now configure the mappings for the internal password reset system. In order to create, update, and remove records from the internal password reset table, you must create mappings. Navigate to Output, Mappings to begin. Because your source data is unique to your organization, we will provide guidelines on how these mappings should be set up, but the particular details will be unique to your situation. First, we will make a record creating mapping. This mapping will insert new records into the internal password reset table. Click Add to create a new mapping. In the Add Mapping window, provide the following details as shown and click Save. In the Table Function dropdown, select the Create filter that you made in Step 3. Next, drag fields from the Items pane onto fields in the Attribute Mapping pane. Be aware of the following points. External ID should always be the unique identifier used in your source system. This is what users will enter to look up their account. Profile should be the name of the password reset profile that you created in Step 4. The label fields should be set to a value that tells the end user what the associated contact detail is. For example, if you put work email addresses into mail address 1, then mail address label 1 should be something like work email. Click Save. Now we will create the update mapping. This mapping will update existing records in the internal password reset table. Click Add to create a new mapping. In the Add Mapping window, provide the following details as shown and click Save. In the Table Function dropdown, select the Update filter that you made in Step 3. Next, drag fields from the Items pane onto fields in the Attribute Mapping pane. Be aware of the following points. ID must be mapped to a field from the filter that returns the user's existing internal password reset ID field. This is how NIM targets their existing record for the update operation. You are free to set any other fields, but we recommend only updating relevant contact details such as email addresses and phone numbers. Now click Save. Lastly, we will set up a mapping for deleting records. This mapping will remove records from the internal password reset table that do not relate back to a record in the source system. Click Add to create a new mapping. In the Add Mapping window, provide the following details and click Save. In the Table Function dropdown, select the Delete filter that you made in Step 3. Next, drag the ID field from the Items pane onto the Matching field in the Attribute Mapping pane. This is the only field that should be mapped here. Now click Save. With those all in place, we can now add these mappings to jobs. After creating the mappings that will manage records in the internal password reset table, you'll need to add those mappings to a job. This video will show you how to add them to a new job, but you are free to add the mappings to an existing job. Let's begin. Navigate to Output, Jobs. Click the Add button and provide a name for the job. Then push Add. On the following screen, click the Add button 3 times to add 3 mappings. For each mapping, set the type drop-down to CRUD and set the name drop-down to the Create, Update, and Delete mappings that you created in Step 5. Click Save. With this job configured, we can now add the job to a scheduled task. In order for internal password reset records to be managed automatically, the job that creates, updates, and deletes records must be run on a schedule. This video will walk you through adding the job to a new scheduled task, but you are free to add it to an existing one. Let's begin by navigating to Scheduler Overview. Click the Add button to create a new scheduled task. In the dialog box, set the type drop-down to Sync, provide a descriptive name of this task, and click Save. On the following screen, configure the task to collect data from your source system. Optionally, you can disable evaluation. Next to execute, click the Add button. In the Added drop-down, select the job that you created in Step 7. Under the Schedule tab, enable the schedule and configure the task to run at your desired interval. Then, click Save. With our schedule in place, we will need to configure our email and/or SMS templates. In order to verify the identity of the user attempting to reset a password, a one-time passcode must be sent to them via email or SMS. This video will lead you through configuring the notification templates and the events that send the notifications. Navigate to Events, Templates. Click the Add button. Provide a name for the new template and click Create. In the Notification Event drop-down, select the choice as shown here. Next to the To field, click Insert Variable. Find and select the shown variable and click Insert. When the message is sent, this variable will resolve to the value of the email address that is associated to the end user. This is the email address that you mapped to one of the mail address fields in Step 5. Provide a suitable subject for the message. Fill out the body of the email as you see fit, but be sure to click this button and insert the variable shown here. When the message is sent, the variable will resolve to the generated OTP code. The end user will need to supply this code back to NIM in order to positively identify themselves and reset their password. With all that done, click Save. Now that the email notification template has been created, you will need to specify the action that will send the notification to the end user. Navigate to Events, Actions. Click the Add button. In the Event Type drop-down, select Password Reset Code Email. In the Event Name drop-down, select the password reset profile that you created in Step 4. Now click Add. In the Template drop-down of the newly added record, select the name of the email template you created earlier. Click Save. With our email template complete, we will now add an SMS template. Navigate to Events, Templates. Then click the Add button. Provide a name for the new template and click Create. In the Notification Event drop-down, select the choice as shown here. Change the notification type drop-down to SMS. Next to the To field, click Insert Variable. Find and select the variable shown here and click Insert. Fill out the message field of the SMS as you see fit, but be sure to insert the variable as shown. Click Save. Now that the SMS notification template has been created, you will need to specify the action that will send the notification to the end user. Navigate to Events, Actions. Then click the Add button. In the Event Type drop-down, select Password Reset Code SMS. In the Event Name drop-down, select the password reset profile that you created in Step 4. Now click Add. In the Template drop-down of the newly added record, select the name of the SMS template you created earlier. Now click Save. With all that in place, we can now take steps to publish our password reset application to our organization. Thanks again for joining me on this self-service password reset tutorial, and have a great day.